Right, we got the recording. Awesome, awesome. All right. Let me see how to make this highlight. Great. Okay, cool beans. If everybody could go on mute so that the background noise doesn't disturb the peeps, that would be great. Yeah, I think the lighting's good. I think the lighting's good. Okay, y'all excited? Y'all ready to get started? I want y'all to be active in the chat because I'll be asking you a few questions. So get your trigger fingers ready for the chat to type away so we can go. So I'm really excited, y'all. I want to be very cognizant of your time today. It's 12:02, so we're gonna get started. Hey, Mariah. Hi, everyone. So welcome, y'all. Look, now, y'all are probably here because you have made a decision that you want to reach the next level in business. Type one in the chat if you can agree. That's where you want to be. Reach the next level in business, right? Yes, amen, Vanessa. So, oh, let me admit. Okay, people are still rolling in. Awesome. So you guys have already proven to yourself that you can give your clients amazing transformations, right? Like whether you had one, two, or 10 clients before, you know that you can give your clients amazing transformations. The issue is not that you're not good at what you do. The problem is you just need more clients consistently, right? Can you all agree to that? Like that's what the issue is. You just need more of the same people. Yes, amen. So you probably have said to yourself before, like, I'm not good at social media. How many people have said that? Like, I'm not a social media person. I don't like to post content. Yes, I know. I've heard it all before. Y'all think that y'all not good at social media. But the issue is that you've adopted social media as an identity. And it's not an identity. It's just an activity that we need to do to make money in business, right? So the problem is not that you're not a social media person, because you'll be scrolling all day, right? Y'all be on social media all the time. Y'all are social media people. The issue is not that you're not a social media person. You just don't know what content to post. You don't know what you're saying when you post. You don't really have clarity around the social media realm, right? Could y'all agree to that as well? So I know that you guys have probably had seasons where you were doubting yourself in business, where you're like, am I even called to do this? Did I hear God wrong? Did he tell me to actually do this? Because it's not working out the way I thought it was going to work out, right? I have been there before where I start questioning, like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Because why is it taking so long to pick up traction? But you know it's what you're called to do, because when you do the thing, you feel fulfilled, right? Like type fulfilled in the chat if that's the truth. Like you feel like you are doing purposed work when you're doing what you do in your business. You feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing when you're actively working the business, and your clients rave about you when you get the clients, right? So it's not that you're not supposed to be doing this. So I want y'all to make the decision today to stop doubting yourselves. Yes, no more doubting. I want you to make the decision that I will not doubt that I'm called to do this thing, because you are, okay? So, right, I am called. I am called. I want to see everybody say, I am called. Yes, no more doubt. I am called. You are supposed to be doing this thing, okay? So if you guys are ready to expand your skill set in sales, because we're going to get down to the sales conversation, I want y'all to type sales in the chat. So I know a lot of y'all have said before, like, I don't want to come off salesy and things like that, right? Like, I don't want to come off salesy. Now, sales is something that somebody at some point in time has associated with negative, something negative. You go get a car and you feel like all these people start crowding around you. These salespeople, they're like, oh, can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? But the thing about sales is it's actually service. So when you're in business, especially a service-based business, yes, Sharon, I am called, especially a service-based business, you are in service of someone else, right? There's somebody on the other side of what you're doing that needs exactly what you have. And your doubt and your stopping yourself from posting content or giving your offer is stopping them from getting the very thing that they need. So you don't have to worry about coming off salesy, because when you are confident in what you are selling, when you're confident in your service, it's not salesy. You are truly giving them what they need in this moment. And I want you guys to take that thought and believe it. So before we get started, I'm gonna lay down some ground rules. I am recording this session because I may use it for content later or future things, whatever like that. So stay on mute unless I ask you to come off of mute, because it'll be really helpful so we can get through the information, all of it at one time. Also, I want you guys to be very intentional about your time. It's 12 o'clock, right? Y'all could be eating lunch. There are things that you can be doing. So if you find that you are getting distracted or you're not in a space where you can devote time to this, I'm going to do another one next week. So feel free to jump off. But I want you to make this the best use of your time, so that we can make sure that we're sharing space with each other in the best way possible. If you find that you're getting distracted or like your dog is jumping around, I know life happens. Like, feel free to just cut your camera off so that you don't distract other people. We want to make sure that we are creating a space where we are all intentional about growing our businesses this year. Like, we're serious about this. I've joined several webinars in the past, like free things, and it's very easy to join something for free and not actually value the thing because there was no cost associated with it. But let's take advantage of free things this year. If it's free, join and really get what you need from it, right? And today I want to give you very meaty things that you can use. Let me admit her. Very meaty things that you can use and use for your business. 100 million, thousand, gazillion % serious. Yes, ma'am, Mariah. I hear you, girl. Okay. All right. So now that we got the ground rules out of the way, I sent you guys a PDF beforehand that you were supposed to fill out. If you filled that out, great. If you haven't, it's in your email and I'll resend that out again so that you can do it. So we're not going to workshop the worksheet today, but you should have done it previously so that you can have a frame of reference. But we're going to do a high-level overview of discussing that worksheet. So today we're going to talk about how you attract your perfect client. So a lot of y'all have seen my content where I talk about creating your own algorithm. And I was doing that a lot with my clients through automation and my CRM system. It's amazing. It works, right? But the issue that I was finding was a lot of clients were coming in without having consistent leads coming in. So when you're not generating consistent leads, the CRM system doesn't necessarily, it can't do the job that it's set to do because there's nothing to fill it with, right? So I came up with the concept CMP, which is clarity and confidence, messaging that converts, and processes, because these three things are what helps you get consistent clients. It helps you get consistent leads. We talk about making money all the time, right? Like, everybody likes to make money. But you can't convert a client if you don't have any leads coming in, right? There are months where there may be no leads, and we can't operate our businesses that way. So we're going to talk about processes that are going to help you generate the leads that you need so that you can convert on the level that you need to convert in. Okay, so I've been in corporate sales for over a decade, y'all. Intentional about time and valuing your content. Yes, I have been in corporate sales for over a decade, and that means that I am 20. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm older, but I've been in sales for a very long time, and I've always sold an idea. I never sold a tangible product. It was always an idea, a concept, a service, a solution, right? And that's what all of us on the call do, right? We are selling a service. And it's really hard sometimes to sell a service without something tangible that somebody can see, touch, and feel. How do we relay that message across a computer screen to someone or through their phone? How do we relay the message of an idea to someone when we're talking in person? And it all comes down to explaining the offer in a way that we're talking about the transformation versus the actual solution, right? I know most times when we post online about our content, we're talking about the thing we could do really well. Y'all, I am so good at doing these events. They're amazing. My events are so fun, right? That's the thing. But what is the transformation? What is the intended result? What is the feeling that somebody gets after they have taken advantage of your services, right? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So on the worksheet, we kind of broke down how you can get clarity and confidence in the exact person that you're talking to, because we can't create messaging unless we know who we're talking to, right? So in that worksheet, we talked about attracting your perfect client through finding out who they are, right? Let me know if y'all was in the Yahoo chat rooms back in the day. I was in high school. I was in the chat rooms all the time. AOL chat rooms, Yahoo chat rooms. I ain't had no business in there talking to them grown men, but I was in there. I was in there, okay? Now, in the Yahoo chat rooms, they used to do this thing where they would comment and say ASL. And ASL was like age, sex, location. Like, how old are you? Are you male or female? And like, where do you live? And that would determine if they wanted to talk to you or not, right? So historically in business, we have been taught to bucket our perfect client around demographics. How old are they? Is it male or female? Where do they live? But these things are not things that actually help you create powerful messaging. You're going to have to know this person, okay? And when I say know this person, I'm saying like down to their name. Who are they? And that sounds scary sometimes, right? Because a lot of people talk about niching down. Have y'all heard someone say you need to niche down? You need a very specific clientele. Have you heard it before? Niching down sounds scary because it's like, well, I'm going to exclude all these other people that could use my service. But if you're talking to everyone, Nobody can identify with the message. It's not drilled down enough. So that's why I teach you guys how to drill down and get really clear on who she is. It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees. What is she doing? Right? Like, you have to know these things. It's Thursday night and she is scrolling on Instagram. What's on her For You page? Right? It's Tuesday, 10 o'clock in the morning. What is she thinking about? She goes to Google. What is she searching, right? You want to get into the mind of who your perfect client is so that you know how to speak her language. When you're creating content, you know what she's thinking about. So when you're creating content, you say the things that she's thinking about, right? Remember earlier, I mentioned how many of you have said, I'm not a social media person. And y'all have said that before, right? It's because I got really down to the science of the people that are in the exact position that you're in. What is blocking them? They don't want to post on social media. So they have assigned this thought to themselves that I'm not a social media person. So you guys have to do that for your own clients as well. Like, who are they? What are they dealing with? And how can I create messaging around them to speak to them? Okay. So that's the first step. And when we end the call, I'm going to give y'all some extra time when we end the call. If I were you guys, I would schedule time with myself. I will put a meeting on the calendar with myself to do this worksheet because the clarity you're going to get from writing these things out is going to blow your mind. And it's really going to help you start framing your content, your emails, your networking conversations. It'll really help you guys start framing that out. Okay. So understand your perfect client. Now, if you had to give your perfect client a name, male or female, what would you name them? Type it in the chat. I'll tell y'all mine. Her name is Tracy. So who is your perfect client? I want y'all to type it in the chat. Give her a name, he or she, them or they. Type it in the chat what they would be called. Melissa. Hey, Melissa, girl. I like Melissa. Melissa need help with her operations, huh, Vanessa? Melissa need help. She needs somebody. Yes, Melissa. Who else y'all got? Who else do y'all got? Who's your perfect client? Wendy. Okay, Wendy. Now, Wendy loves experiences, doesn't she? Like, she loves to have a good time, but she don't have time to put all that stuff together, does she? She busy. Wendy is busy. Mary, hello, Mary. Mary is that girl, okay? Mary done had some stuff happen in her life, and Mary needs somebody to just give her 1, 2, 3, and 4 on what to do next, right, Sharon? That is Mary. I love that. Okay, awesome. So now that you have the name in your mind, like, you know who she is, you can kind of identify with her. Does that give y'all a little sense of clarity? Because when you're writing content, now you're writing like you're talking to Wendy. Now you're writing like you're talking to Mary. I'm going to post this video, and this video is going to be for Veronica. You see what I mean? Like, you are very targeted in your approach because she has a name. She's not this idea anymore. She's a person. Like, we know her. We know what she looked like. We know what kind of car she drives, right? So now we can talk her language, how she speaks. So the next thing that you guys want to look at is the identified problem. You want to call out her problem for her. I guarantee you that she is in a situation where she is frustrated, but she doesn't quite know why she's frustrated, right? She has an idea, but she can't put language to it. She just knows how it feels. But you can, because you've experienced working with people just like her in the past, and you can pinpoint the things that they were dealing with and give them some solutions in their mind to know that there is help for their problem. So for instance, you can write down what trigger event happened that had her searching for the solution that you have to offer. What happened? Did someone leave the company that she's working at, and now that part of the business falls on her? Did she lose her job, and now she has to do this thing, but she doesn't really know how to do it, right? Is she now in charge of events for her business, and she has no idea how to find someone to decorate events, right? So you have to figure out what the problem is or what trigger happened for her. So I would say you guys are my perfect clients. Some of the problems I identified that you guys had is that you are looking for consistent clients. You know that you give amazing transformations. You just have not had enough at bats, meaning you haven't talked to enough people to be able to convert at a high level. You don't know how to necessarily generate leads. You don't know what to say when you're talking to someone to get them to say yes, right? So you start thinking of the problems that they're actually dealing with, and those are the things you want to write down. I would have like 10 problems stored in the back of my mind. So once you determine the problems, then your problems should point you to how you craft your solution or your offer, right? It should help you determine what benefits your offer has that speaks directly to that problem. So a lot of this is not necessarily that you don't know what you're doing in business. You may just need to reframe the offer around the problems that she's dealing with, right? You may need to add certain features that speak to the problem that she's dealing with. So there's this notion where a client will have a perceived problem, but then there's an actual problem, right? So their perceived problem, for instance, your perceived problem is you're not making enough money in business, right? My business is not generating enough income. That's your perceived problem. The actual problem is that you're not generating enough leads. You're not doing enough money-making activities to generate leads, right? That's the actual problem. So your job as the business owner is to determine what the actual problem is and then what her perceived problem is. And that's how you learn how to craft the messaging, because you're going to say, you're likely thinking that the issue is, and you're going to say the perceived problem, but what it actually is, and then you're going to give the back end problem, right? These can be used in pieces of content, makes content a lot easier. If you write down 10 problems, you can create content around 10 problems, talking about the solutions that you have to 10 problems. That's 10 pieces of content. You can use this in your email copy when you're sending emails because you want to nurture the client, the leads that you've already gotten in the past. You can use this in regular conversation because we know Veronica so well. We know Wendy, we know Mary so well. When we're having regular conversation, we can pinpoint them based off of the things they're saying because their problems line up to what we've already written out, right? So undo that. The next piece that helps you guys get really clear on who she is your differentiator. Okay, now I know y'all done heard the bread speech, but I'm gonna give it to you again. It's 50 million brands of bread on the shelf, and somebody's gonna choose one of those brands, right? Me and Vanessa may choose two different types of brands. Me, I love Artisano bread, okay? Artisano bread. Okay, so maybe we choose the same bread, Vanessa. Artisano bread is soft. It's pillowy. It's a little thick, it's some substance there. You know what I mean? It makes me feel like a rich lady when I make sandwiches with this bread. When I make my jelly toast, I'm like, yes, okay. The jelly not spilling through the holes in the bread. It's good bread, okay? But there may be somebody else that likes Nature's Own. They may enjoy nuts and oats on their bread, right? Maybe they like a little crunch to their bread, but all the breads have something different. They're just all breads. So you are not in an oversaturated market. I don't know how many times you've probably told yourself that, but you're not in an oversaturated market because nobody can do the thing that you do. So you need to figure out that one thing that separates you from all the other party planners, Mariah, or all the other business solution consultants, Vanessa, or all the other coaches, Sharon. Like, you need to figure out what separates you from those people. What makes you different? And that is what you need to establish, write it out, commit it to memory so that you know that is your differentiator. And that piece right there will boost your confidence so much when you're delivering messaging, because you don't feel like, oh, the person next door already said that. Yeah, but they can't do it like you. And what is it that you do that's different, right? So I want to challenge y'all as you think about it. Type in the chat, what do you think your differentiator is? What separates you from all the other people in your specific industry? Let me know. My differentiator is that I offer a CRM system with my strategy sessions. So I'm not just telling you exactly what to do. I'm actually giving you a vehicle to implement the processes, right? Not everybody can offer that. They can just give strategy or they can just give coaching and solutions, but I also offer something else. Mariah said, I'm different because I allow guests to take home memories. That's amazing. In what way do you allow them to take home memories? I love that. Anybody else want to share their differentiator? What sets you apart? My differentiator is that I help spenders pay off debt and save money without budgeting. And listen, that is a huge differentiator, right? Because what do most financial coaches say that they do? They help you save, they help you budget, they tell you to cut up your credit cards, they tell you stop going to Starbucks, right? So Fran has something that sets her apart from all the other financial coaches. I am different because I like serving others. And you'd be surprised how many people are in business for a money grab. Did you mean to raise your hand? Oh, you're driving. Go ahead. You can come off of mute and say what you need to say.
I'm different because I provide convenience for others whenever they need laboratory services done, and I have a soft touch.
Yes, amen. Okay, so background on her, she does mobile phlebotomy services. So she takes people's blood. Now, I am a person whose veins are not visible. And so every time I go get my blood drawn, they have to stick me 4 or 5 times. It's insane, right? So if she can say that she has a soft touch, she knows exactly where to find the veins, she's different, right? For someone like me, I would go to her because that's a problem that I have. You see, like I wouldn't go to another phlebotomist because they can't find my vein, right? The other thing is she's mobile. What if someone is like they can't drive or they can't get somewhere or their business requires them to be at their office, but they really need to get this paternity test to make sure this baby is theirs, okay? Like these things are things that set you apart, and it's good for you to know this because it gives you the confidence to give your offer. We are making bath bombs this weekend. Guests will make their own bath bombs and then get to take them home. That is a differentiator because when most people plan parties, what do? They come and take all the stuff back with them. But yours are experiences and they get to take their experiences home. That is a differentiator. That is great. Good job. Okay, good. So now that you guys have determined your differentiator, do you feel confident in being able to go sell just based off of that? Like being able to give your offer just based off of knowing that you're not like everybody else? Does that give you the confidence to go sell your thing? I think so. And the last thing that I want y'all to do before we move on from the confidence is I want you to determine why they should choose you. Okay. Why you over everybody else? You should choose me as a sales strategist because I not only have the experience of operating sales, I also am educated in it. I went to school to learn the sales process and to learn the sales skills. And I have over a decade of experience. So I can give you corporate strategy and I can also give you trendy strategy and combine those to make very effective sales strategies that work in today's day and age, right? So that's why you should choose me. Why should somebody choose you over the next person? I believe that I am different because, from most balloon artists, in that I target corporate events and focus on how to brand and customize corporate events with balloons versus other room decor. Now, that's huge as well. People should choose me because, she's still typing. That's, Kara, that's good as well because most event planners, they plan the entire event, right? But maybe somebody doesn't have the budget for all of the things. They just want balloon decor. And you'd be surprised how much you can elevate a room with just balloon decor, right? And because you're so targeted at what you do, you could really get drilled down and effective in your messaging because balloons are fun. Balloons do this, right? So you can get really granular with your messaging because of that. I love that. Friend, I think your message got cut off, but I think you're probably still going to type. All right, awesome. So now we feel confident, right? Like we know who we are. We that girl. Okay, can nobody tell us who he is? Okay. Balloons are corporate too. Yes, thank you. I've been where they are. I paid off high six-figure debt using my process, so I don't judge. Period. That part right there, what she just said, is I've been where they are. How many of you can relate to your perfect client that you just crafted? Have you been in her position before? Most times when we are crafting who our perfect client is, it was us in one season. So that's how we can know them so well. And when you have such deep empathy for the person on the other side of this thing, it doesn't become a sales conversation anymore. It's like, girl, I can help you. Like you do not have to struggle like this. I can tailor any activity to your theme and budget. And because the nature of taking an experience home, it can be an entire event. Yes, ma'am. So I want you guys to just sit in this for a moment because you know who you are now. You know exactly who you serve. You know the problems that they're dealing with, and you know why they should choose you over anybody else. So you don't have to shy away from posting content. You don't have to shy away from raising your hand in networking events. When you are identifying people, maybe you're scrolling on social media and people are complaining or talking about the things that they struggle with, and you know you have the solutions to that, you can feel confident in sending them a DM because you're not being sleazy. You just know that you can help them because you've been them before. You have empathy for them, right? Most certainly, people can relate when they know your story. Yes, storytelling is huge when you're selling your thing, right? Okay, great. So now that we have confidence, we're going to move on to messaging. I love to talk about messaging. So messaging can be your copy. It can be what you put in emails. It can be what you're saying verbally, right? It's how can you get someone to identify with the thing that you're talking about? Okay. So I know everybody probably heard this before. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. Type 1 in the chat if you heard that before. They buy from people they know, like, and trust. Well, how can somebody trust you if you don't trust your own self, right? Confidence, literally, the definition of confidence is trust in oneself. So when you're delivering your messaging, if you can't say it with conviction behind it, you don't trust the things that are coming out of your mouth, and the person on the other end is like, they're not too sure about what they got going on, right? So that's why we have to do the confidence part, because now that we get down to messaging, that messaging has to take hold in your heart. That messaging has to speak directly to the thing that you're doing, and you have to actually believe it. So that's how we're going to craft our messaging today, okay? So let's see. All right, let's go through messaging. How many of you have an offer already established? Like, you know the thing that you're selling, you know how much it costs, and you're pretty confident in the offer that you have. Type 1 in the chat if you're confident in your offer already. If you need a little work on your offer, type 2 in the chat. Okay, one. Awesome. All right. Everybody's really confident in their offer. So I'm going to walk you guys through an exercise that I like to do, and it really helps and it really helps craft your messaging. 1.5. Now, Vanessa, I ain't asking no half points. What is a half point? We're going to put 2 if it's not 1. We're going to put 2 if it's not 1. Fran said, thank you for your help with it. Awesome. Okay. 1. Yes. You know your offer. Okay. So when we're crafting our offer, we know what the offer is. We know the features and benefits of the offer. Now I'm with the 1.5. No, y'all are 2s. You either going to be 1 or 2. We going to put some determination behind this. We'll make it clear. We just went through a clarity exercise and y'all still being confuzzled. Okay. 1 or 2. 2. All right. We with the 2. Okay, so when you're crafting your offer, you know the features and benefits of your offer, but we're going to get really granular with how we're crafting the offer through the messaging of it, right? So I want you guys to determine what the transformation is of your offer, not what your offer is. What is your client getting after they work with you? How do they feel? Because people don't buy solutions, they buy feelings, they buy transformations, okay? There's a saying that says people don't buy drills, they buy holes. They need to make a hole, so they bought the drill. So what is the transformation? Going to join from laptop, be right back. Okay, cool beats. So determine the transformation that your offer gives, okay? Now, this is called your promise. This is a statement. It's your promise statement. And you can use your promise statement, again, in content. You can do a whole piece of content just based off of your promise. Okay, so my promise is I can help you make more money faster. If I can promise you I can make you more money faster, would you want to buy my thing, right? Like that's the energy behind it. Joy, fun, entertainment. My members buy freedom, relief, and choices. Yes, heavy on the freedom, okay? Joy, fun, and entertainment. Mariah, I would dig a little deeper because I know a little bit about your business. All right, so at the end of your events, they're leaving with a feeling. The person that paid you to do the event, they're leaving with a feeling, and the feeling is likely that I was able to put on this amazing experience and I did not have to come up with the idea myself. They probably saved a lot of time, so that's freedom, right? Their problem is likely that they don't have the skill set to come up with these amazing ideas, or they don't know how to pull it all together. So the transformation for the person that purchased it is that they get their time back in their day. Now, for the person on the other end, like the kids that get to experience this, that's joy, fun, and entertainment. That's memories. That is fulfillment, right? That is confidence, because through joy, fun, and entertainment, they walk away more confident, children and things like that. We can get really ease because we don't like planning parties for real. We like coming up with the concepts, but we don't want to get all the vendors and the stuff into play, right? And we actually do not want to interact with all these children at the party. We want somebody else to do it. So that part. Okay. Time, freedom, peace of mind. Okay. Amen. So now that you know your promise, you can use those promises in pieces of content. And when you're talking to people and you're understanding what problems they're dealing with, you can be able to say, well, I promise I'll be able to do this, right? Okay, now we're going to talk about your agitator. Agitator is typically a common misconception that people have about your industry or the thing that you do. So for me, most people believe that they have to please the algorithm, and most people believe that they have to post 10 times a day or shake their hips on TikTok to be able to attract their perfect client, right? But that's not true, because what I believe is that by staying top of mind and using powerful messaging that converts, I can attract my perfect client, right? So your agitator is a common misconception or thought that most people have about your industry. And then you're going to reframe that with your unique perspective or your ideas. So it has to be something that's polarizing. They think this, but I say this. So determine that. And you want to write it in a way that says most people believe X, but what I have found or what I believe is X. Okay, so I'm also going to send y'all this PDF when we I'm also going to send y'all this PDF when we conclude, so that y'all can do the work on your own, so you don't have to feel rushed through it. But you want to do your agitator. And then you want to inspire with receipts, okay? You can talk a big game, but you got to be able to back it up. So have you helped someone do this thing before? And all of you should have had clients in the past that have had the transformation that you promise you can give. So I want you to talk about it. This is your time to shine. Brag on your client's transformation through the powerful thing that you do in your business. Because you know you're good. Like, it's not, the issue is not that you're not good at what you do. You're amazing. We're just going to help you find more of those people so that you can do the transformation. So inspire with receipts. People have to know, like, and trust you, right? Trust is a big factor. People online lying all day. They're lying all day. Okay. So how can you prove that you're not a liar? And I know you feel like you ain't got to prove yourself, but if you want them to give you some money, you should be able to prove that you've done this before over and over and over again. So inspire with receipts. So give a client testimony. Client testimonies are great pieces of content. When you don't know what to post that day, ask your client to send you a video of a testimony that they have. Ask them to send you a quick text, screenshot that, post that as content. When you're out in the streets at networking events, people want to know who else you've helped. Name drop. This is a good time to name drop. People want to know, people want to be able to identify that there are other people in the world that have the same problem that they have, and there was a solution for it. It gives them peace of mind. So inspire with receipts. And then we're going to get really good at asking for the sale. Okay. Most times we just put it out there and then we back up and be like, you like it, or that's you, or okay, right? So now they need you to ask them. There will be some people that's like, girl, take my money right now. Okay. But there are going to be some people who want to be asked. They want to know what happens next. My biggest client will not leave me a review. She keeps booking, but I can't get her to leave a review. That's really interesting. Did she say why she doesn't want? Is she saying that she will not leave you a review, or she's just ignoring your emails or text about the review? And if you're in person, can you be like, hey, friend, I really want to get more clients exactly like you. I know there are more people that could really benefit from this. Okay, you need to get her in person. So the next time she books, get her in person and ask her to give you a review in person. You can record her, or you can ask her, is it okay if I write down some things that you enjoyed from utilizing me? Record it in a moment. Yep, you could do that. Another thing you could do is offer her a slight incentive. If you give me a review, I'll give you a free something, or I'll throw in this, or it don't got to be something that's high value, but just an incentive if you really want that review from her. But I think that's very odd that she's just going to keep booking and not leave a review. I will want to help out my people that I keep using. So you may just need to get her in person. It may just be that she doesn't see it, or she's too busy. I know for me, if I get an influx of, she don't care about the money, she books late knowing she will pay extra. Okay, so then you just need to get her in person. She sounds like a very busy lady. I get very overwhelmed when my phone has a bunch of notifications on it, and I don't swipe the notifications away because I know that I need to respond. And in my mind, I'm like, if I swipe it away, I'll forget to respond. And then I still forget to respond. So it just is a cycle, and she's probably dealing with that cycle. She's not trying to ignore you. I would think that she's not trying to ignore you. She's just really busy. So the next time you're doing her event, I would get her in person and be like, hey, let me record this quick video, you girls. So I get some more, you know what I mean? You can do that. Okay, so when you guys are asking for the sale, you should have already built up enough value, utilizing your promise, utilizing your agitator, all of your pieces of content. There is a statistic that says that it takes 7 to 14 touch points before somebody will pick up the phone, respond to a text, or respond to an email to even just have a conversation with you. 7 to 14 touch points. Now, that's just regular sales conversion rates. Let's talk about online conversion rates. Somebody needs to consume 7 hours of your content before they determine whether or not they want to take your offer. Okay. Now, this is not statistics that are for everybody, but it's just a general statistic. On average, somebody needs to consume 7 hours of your content. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to empower you, to let you know that you can post your content because it's not annoying them. They need constant reminders. You need to be top of mind. You need to figure out how you can position yourself to be top of mind for them. So does that mean that you're posting content, you're also sending them an email, and then you're also showing up at the same networking events they're at? Like, how can they see you in more than one place? How can you have an omnipresence in their life? That's what you want to determine. So when you're asking for the sale, you can kind of say, if I'm able to do this thing for you that I said that I could do, would you join my program? If I'm able to give you time, freedom, and more money back without having to budget, would you join the financial coaching club? If I'm able to help you with your operations so you can spend less time working on your business and more time working in your business, would you be a client of LV Business Solutions? Yes. Fashion Nova and Shein sends us 10 million emails a day. I bet it's a billion. And they disrespectful. So, and have we blocked them yet? Because I haven't. We have not blocked them yet. We still allowing them to own prime real estate in our phones. Not only are they sending emails, they also are texting. They're also in my Facebook messages. I don't know how they do that, but they're doing that, right? So if you can position yourself to be like Fashion Nova, less annoying, but Fashion Nova, do you see how you could get leads generated consistently over time? Yes. So we're going to do that. So once you've determined your promise, your agitator, your inspiring receipts, and then you're asking for the sale, you're going to put it all together, and that's going to be your offer statement. Your offer statement is great to just have so that when you are launching, like you're bringing your thing back out again, your program, or you're putting like a resurge into it, you can always put that at the bottom of your emails. You can verbally say it. You can take pieces of it and put it in content, but it just gives you more confidence when you're going forth with delivering your message. Like, I can do all these things for you. Now, do you want to be my friend? Now, would you like to give me some money? Would you give me your information to download this lead magnet, right? So you have to ask. All right, so now we're going to get into processes. So the processes is how you have the consistency, right? So I know there have been times where we've had 0 clients coming in a month. We've had 0 leads coming in a month. And you looking around like, child, who gonna pay the mortgage? Because these clients ain't coming in, right? So how can we get away from getting in that same cycle where your business is going like this? Okay. Now, we're entrepreneurs. We know that business is going to fluctuate, but can we minimize the fluctuation in the business? Can we have some things that we're doing on a consistent basis that will ensure or give us predictability into the conversions that we have, right? So we're going to talk about our processes. All right. Money. We love money, right? I want you guys to comment below and let me know how much money you would like to make this year. If you don't want to share, that's fine. But I like to say it so that I feel confident in it. I want to make $160,000 this year. Okay. So how much money do you want to make this year? 100,000. Yes, ma'am. So when you know that number, you can then break the number down. What we're going to do right now is take our big number and back it out. We're going to work backwards. So 100K, 150K profit, right? So we have that number. Then you want to break that number down to a monthly monetary goal by 12 months, 6,000 a month. Amen. Okay. So once you have your monthly number, then you need to determine how many times you need to sell your service, program, or offer a month to get that monthly number. How many clients does it take a month to get that number? All right. So now that you know that, or y'all still calculating, type 1 in the chat if you got it. Okay, 56 clients a month to get that number. All right. So now that you know the number, now we're going to determine how many leads we need to generate. I'm going to preface this by saying we're just doing an average number. Do not let the number scare you. This is just average. And I'm pretty sure with your powerful messaging that converts, you can convert at a higher rate than this average, right? So the average rate of conversion is 5%. I'm going to give you guys 30% conversion because we just crafted this powerful messaging, which means the people that are coming to you as a lead have already established that they're your perfect client. They just may not have the funds to buy, or they may not be ready in the moment. But because we know we're getting really targeted people, we can say about 30% on the lead generating. So you're going to take the number that you just established that you need per month, like how many clients you need. You're going to multiply that by 100 and then divide it by 5. I'm going to put it in the chat so you have it. This is also going to be on the document that I send you guys out, so you'll have that. Where's the little division sign on here? You know what? I'm going to say divided by 30. Y'all, I forgot how to spell divided. That is crazy. Okay, I did it. All right. So number of clients. I put plus. Hold on, y'all. Ignore that one I just did. Number of clients times 100 divided by 30. So this is saying that if you have a 30% conversion, this is how many leads you need to have coming in per month. So I'm going to use Fran's example. So 56 times 100 divided by 30, which means she needs to have 186 leads, 12 parties at a $500 average, 12 parties a month. Okay, so Mariah, if you need 12 parties, you're going to do 12 times 100 divided by 30. You need 360. Oh, wait, I put the wrong thing. Put percentage. Divided. There we go. You need 40 leads a month. So 40 leads a month in order for you to get 12 parties booked. What you guys are going to find is that if you're shooting for this large number, right? Even if you don't get that large number, you're going to get way more leads than you were getting before because there's intentionality behind it. There's a number that you're going after. Prior to this, we just had a big number in our head. I want to make $160,000 this year. Okay. What are we going to do to do that? I don't know. So now we're going to determine what we need to do that. So we've drilled, there's a birthday every day. Somebody was born every day. That's crazy. So there is always something to celebrate. So there are leads out there, right? So how do we find them? So Mariah needs to get 40 leads. Fran needs to get, I lost your number, 56 times 100. Divided by 30, 186. So how do we get these leads? 187. How do we get these leads? So we're going to work on money-making activities. First, you need to determine whether you are a B2B, business to business, or a B2C, business to consumer. Consumer means you work with individuals. It's not a corporation. It's not a business. It's just an individual. When we're talking about like entrepreneurs, you can either put them in the consumer category or the business category. They can go both ways. B2B. Okay. So B2B and B2C have two different activities. So if most of us are B2C, I'll talk about B2C and then I'll hit on B2B for you, Kara. Okay. So B2C activities, you need to kind of think about where you're both. You need to think about where your ideal client usually hangs out. Okay. The easiest place for them to hang out is social media. That's why I talk about content, because it's important. But we know that our businesses cannot just exist online, right? So our content should be there to support the claims that we make in person, but we should actively be in the community. We should be at networking events. We should be in rooms where our perfect clients are. So if you are, I'll use Mariah, for instance. If you are looking for people who have birthday parties, you need to be at the cheer clubs. You need to be at the after school programs. You need to figure out how you can get in with people that have PTOs, right? You need to get in good with your children's teachers, right? You need to be in groups of people that have access to your ideal client, okay? This still goes for B2B as well. So if you're working with PTO mom groups, yes. If you're working with B2B, How can you get access to an influx of those businesses? Where would you find them? LinkedIn is a good place to start. You find them on LinkedIn, and then you can go do drops. You can go physically to their location and give them something of value, something that they can remember you by in exchange for having a meeting with you. Okay. So we got networking events, we got social media, Facebook groups, we got social groups, programs, masterminds. All of these are great. One of the things that I tell my clients all the time is a concept I call power influencers. Power influencers is a way to work smarter, not harder. Okay. So you want to get 5 to 10 good power influencers, and they're influencers, which means they have influence on your perfect client. They are in community. They are around your perfect client more than you are. And because you can build value with this one person can refer you 5 people, right? I attach 5 people to each person. So if you have 5 power influencers and 5 of these power influencers can refer you 5 people a month, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, that's 25 people just off of referrals. So that means all the activity you're doing on content is going to compound with the power influencers. All the networking activity is going to compound on the power influencers, right? So you want to make sure that you are doing money-making activities, okay? So let's break money-making activities down into buckets. So we have lead-generating money-making activities, okay? We have nurturing money-making activities, and we have conversion money-making activities. So we talked about generating leads. That's your power influencers, it's your social media, DMs, networking events, email lists. How many of us have an email list already? I will say that email lists are going to be your greatest asset in business. We've seen what happened with TikTok, okay? It went away, it came back, and it went away, and it came back. We cannot control Meta, we can't control TikTok because we don't own it, but we own our email list. So you want to make sure you have an email list. If you need help getting an email list together, I got you, friend. We'll talk about it later, but you need an email list. So that's a part of lead generation. You can use emails, you can use social media, networking, things like that, right? And power influencers. And then your next bucket is nurture money-making activities. So nurture means you are following up with people who booked consultations with you in the past and never bought. You're following up with people who have used you in the past, but you want them to use you again. You're following up with your power influencers, giving them something of value, a statistic, something. You could, if you're a coach, you can say to a CPA, CPAs are great power influencers for those of us who are in the transformation is money, we should be working with CPAs. One of the things you could say to a CPA is a statistic. Did you know that 75% of clients who utilize life coaching make 30% more revenue than those that don't? I made that up, but I can guarantee you if you Google a statistic about it, it's there in their powerful numbers. CPAs are numbers people. So if you talk to them in numbers and tell them how it can benefit them that you be their life coach, I guarantee you they'll refer you. Because guess what? Their investments are going to go up. Their portfolio is going to go up. And how does that benefit the CPA, right? Especially if the CPA is managing their portfolios and things like that. They want their clients to stay in business. They want their clients to continue to use them. Life coaching can help them do that, right? Money coaching can help them do that. Financial coaching can help them do that. For you, Vanessa, operations can help them do that. They need somebody to keep that. Bookkeeping can help them do that, right? They need that. And a lot of CPAs don't want to dabble in the bookkeeping arena. They appear, they don't want. So you can be that person and they'll refer you. So nurturing activities. Okay, so then you want to talk about your conversion activities. Conversion activities are launching. I know we've probably heard the concept of live launching before. Live launching can be very daunting and energetically consuming. So you do not have to live launch every month, but you can have surges of activity that happen that get you more people into your group. So whether that be a new way to talk about the thing that you're talking about, or it be a new incentive that you can add to get people in there, that can be a way to live launch without actually live launching. You know what I mean? Not taking all of the energy to do it. So finding new ways to talk about your program. Collaborations are going to be key here. So if your social media influence is not as high, like a giveaway, you could do that. You could say for the month of February, everybody's going to get a rose or something like that. I just made that up. But there are incentives you can do based on the season that make you feel happy about posting things because it's new, it's fresh, it's fun, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel of your offer. Your offer is going to be your offer always. We don't have to keep launching all the time the same way, right? Mix it up. Collaborations. So if you can collaborate with someone who has synergy with your business, but they don't directly do the same thing as you, I would do that. So that could be going live with them. That can be collaborating on a workshop. I collaborated with Implementation Nation on a workshop before where I taught a piece of the sessions. She taught the other pieces of the session. And so I was able to get leads from her workshop. And when she comes to my events, she gets leads from my events, right? So collaborating with other people whose businesses are similar, but they don't conflict. So collaborating is a good conversion activity. I'm about to do one directed towards new moms, a baby onesie kit. Oh, that's so cute. So like baby shower, like you want to throw like their baby shower, whatever. And that is tea in itself, because when you have a baby shower, what's the number one thing you got your best friend doing? Girl, figure out what games we playing, because I can't think, right? So if you can come up with a game and like you said, your experiences get them to take something home, paint their own onesie, that's amazing. Like they would love to do that. So yes, take the guesswork out of partying, take the guesswork out of celebrating. Okay, so then another conversion activity is following up with past clients. You would be amazed how low-hanging fruit a past client is. You can reach out to a past client and just say, hey, and they'll say something like, oh my God, I meant to text you last week, but I forgot, right? And now they are buying your thing again. Now they're, getting your service again, just because you said, hey. So just nurturing, keeping track, following up with people. And the easiest way to do this is to have a segmented list of your contacts in your email list, right? So if you don't have an email list, I hope this shows you how important it is to have it, because it keeps everyone segmented. You can send one email to all the people that have used you in the past. You can send another one to the people who've booked consultations and never converted. And you can send another one to people who just keep purchasing your lead magnets and never join anything, right? And those conversations are all going to look different. So make sure you're doing money-making activities. So then the last thing you're going to do is determine your schedule. So now you know your money-making activities. Now you need to determine when you're going to do them. I'm not going to tell you guys how to run your day. I'll give you suggestions on how I run mine. I need help with an email list. Okay, I got you, Mariah. We can talk about it. I can tell you how I run my days. I have segmented days to do certain things. That's because that's how my brain operates. I can't flex between 3 different types of activities in one day. I will get very overwhelmed. So I have a day where I just focus on follow-ups. Tuesdays are my follow-up days. That's where I will follow up with past clients. I'll follow up with people who've booked consultations in the past. And these are typically low-hanging fruit. So I'm not like exerting a lot of energy doing cold calls, right? Typically with B2C, we're not doing cold calls, but if you're B2B, you likely will have to do cold calls, and those are very energetically taxing. So I would choose a day where you're doing that. So start with the good stuff, low hanging fruit, people who love you already. Hey friend, what you doing? How you doing? We had fun last time. Let's have fun again, right? So follow up. You should have a day for content, figuring out what content you're going to post, right? I am not telling you guys have to be posting content 5 days a week. It could be 1 day a week, but it should be consistent in that people can expect to see you a certain amount of times a week, even if that's one. I'm going to post on Instagram 1 time a week. So people know they can come to my page and get a boost of strategy and go on about their business, but they know they'll be able to come and get something fresh every week. So figuring out your content days, figuring out what days you're going to record and post whatever you're posting. You can have an email writing day. I know Fran is really good at sitting down and scheduling out her emails. That is a good money-making activity because you do it one time and don't have to worry about it for a week or 2. And guess what that does? It gives you more Friday afternoon at the coffee shop at Poochie Cafe. That gives you more time to work in your business and not on your business, because the joy of running the business is the fulfillment. It's not in this stuff that we're doing right now, right? This is fun. It can be fun, but we in business to do the fulfillment. So how can we put these activities or schedule these activities out to where we're not doing them every day, all day? It don't have to be an 8-hour job, y'all. I have ran 2 ads on Facebook and got 23 leads in one and 27 on another, but I called and no one answers, or they don't want it because they think insurance pays for it. I got one sale, but she ended up booking with someone else, and one of them, the demo was incorrect. The ones who wanted to book were in another state. So that sounds like your messaging could be tweaked. And these are all what we call objections. So when people give you objections, they point you in the direction of how you need to tweak your messaging so you can take the objection away from them before they can give it. So if there are people who think that insurance pays for it and they don't necessarily want to pay for it, how can you figure out a way to weed out those people from even contacting you? This service is for people who don't have insurance, right? This may be for someone who doesn't have insurance, but they need a low cost or an effective way to get their blood drawn. I know you told me in the past that you were focusing on maternity and paternity tests, and or they fill out the form and put an app number, not a real number. So I would stay away from Facebook ads until your messaging is perfected. Correct. DNA tests and gender reveals. So your target audience may be people who don't have insurance, but they want to see what the gender of their baby is. Going to the OBGYN is very expensive. Even if you have insurance, you still have to pay when you go, right? So if they just want to know the gender of their baby without having to schedule an OBGYN appointment, that could be a part of your messaging. If somebody needs a paternity test and they need it to be quick, and maybe they don't want their girlfriend seeing them walk into the doctor's office to go get a paternity test, you can come to them, right? Like there's a benefit there, right? You don't need insurance. We're cutting the middleman out. Hey, ain't no government involved in this. Come over here, baby. Okay, so find ways in your messaging that you can get around that. And I would stay away from Facebook ads. I would stay away from ads until you have perfected your messaging and you know that your messaging can convert organically. Most coaches and consultants are going to tell you that Facebook ads are the way to go. No, they're a way to waste your money. You will be wasting your money until you've tested this organically and seen that it works. Because what's going to happen is what's happening now is you're getting a lot of leads and they're not your perfect client. They're not a good fit. So we have to craft your messaging in a great way. And once we see that works organically, then we move to paid ads. Okay, cool. So now that you guys have your schedule, you know what you're doing, you know your money-making activities, you got your messaging that converts, and you feel confident in delivering. Do you feel like you can go the rest of this week and make some offers? Do you feel like you could generate some leads this week? It's Thursday, next week. Do you feel like you can go and generate some leads next week? Yes. Do y'all feel motivated to sit down and put a plan in place on how you can get to your 56 leads in a month and 20 leads in a month? Do you feel motivated to be able to determine how to do those things? Make us some now. I'm sending email today. Yes, amazing, amazing. So the cool thing about lead generating is that we're not expecting that we're going to convert every person, but every time you generate a lead, it gives you data. It gives you data into whether or not your messaging is working. It gives you data into whether or not the people that you feel is your ideal client is actually your ideal client, right? It gives you data, and you can use that data to tweak your offer and to tweak your messaging. We love data. She's our friend, right? So in order for us to generate leads on a consistent basis, we need things like lead magnets. Like, what are ways that you can ask someone for their email address and phone number, right, in exchange for a low cost offer or a low barrier of entry before they get into your main thing? Lead magnets are what's going to make your life super easy. If you do not have a lead magnet, comment 2 in the chat. I know some of you have lead magnets. Yes. Okay. So lead magnets are a really great opportunity for you to test your messaging, for you to get an influx of leads, and then for you to be able to follow up with them and have more at-bats than just hoping and wishing and throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. So a part of the service that I offer is I help you craft your lead magnet, and I help you automate the process behind generating the leads for the lead magnet. Now, this is not you posting an ad on Facebook. This is organic traffic, but knowing the number of leads that you need to hit every month will help you determine if you're going to be able to convert the amount that you need to convert. The lead magnet you helped me create has made my business so much easier. Yes, Friends Lead Magnet is a quiz. We made the quiz one time, and Friend just has to post the link now. and everything is automated for her. The response to the lead is automated. The nurture is automated. All of her processes that we talked about today are automated from that one quiz. And that's what I help my clients do. I post on Threads and get 42 quick. Whoa. On Threads, 42 leads in a day on Threads. Okay, the T might be Threads, y'all. The T might be Threads. Y'all get on Threads. Get on your Zoom and get on Threads. Okay, and your that's right in line with what you almost what you needed for leads in a month, and you got that in a day. Yeah, y'all need a lead magnet, okay? So lead magnets could be webinars like what I'm doing today. It could be quizzes. It could be a PDF, a downloadable. It can even be something that costs, but it's just very low. Use the hashtag 92% are Black women. Okay, she giving y'all game, y'all. Take notes. Take notes. Or whatever your target is. Yeah, mine is definitely the Black people. Okay, Black women, I love that. 92%. Cool. So in my program is called Curiosity to Cash. It is a 3-month intensive where we will walk through perfecting your offer, perfecting your messaging, and then generating your lead magnet, your automations, your calendar consultations. We're basically going to automate the process of running your business from lead generation to conversion. After the 3-month is over, you will continuously be able to use the CRM system because you'll be factored into our Curiosity to Cash Club. We work together for 3 months, once a week. After the 3 months conclude, you can choose to still join the strategy calls once a week, where we'll just be facilitating all the things that we learned over the 3-month process, right? It is a cohort model, so we will all start the first week in March. The first Monday in March is when everybody will get started, and we'll be walking through putting your offer out there and gathering leads and converting leads at the same time. So if you think you can benefit from having accountability, community, and strategy, I think this program will be perfect for you. Now, this program is not for people who have product-based businesses. So if you sell a product or that's your main offer, this would not work best for you. But if you sell an idea, a concept, or you teach someone, you're an industry expert, this would be perfect for you, and I would love to have you. Would this be good to use for my event in May? Yes, if you want to make sure that you're capturing emails, you want to convert them from those emails, meaning you want them to also book your phlebotomy services and things like that, yes, it will be good to have for that as well. So I'm going to put the link to join in the chat. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to ask Kara to come off of mute and share her experience from working with us at Curiosity to Cash. And again, I'm not coercing you guys to do anything. If this was good and it sounds like something you need, I'd love to have you. If not, we're going to be here next week too. I have been called to do this webinar once a week. It's going to be the same content. So if you want to join again, feel free to. If you just need a surge of strategy and energy and things like that, you can join again. But yeah, Kara, come up and I'm going to type the link to join in the chat. Now where Kara go? Kara, you're on mute. Can I invite the ladies in the chat? It's from Moms for Entrepreneurs. Yes, feel free. She's trying to take herself on mute.
Okay, hi y'all. I had the privilege of working with Zykia for 3 months last year, and I'm hoping to be able to restart again in March. So what I will say my experience has been, I was attracted to her as a business coach because her messaging converted me, which is what I said at the Elevate, the first live event I was able to attend. We had a consult a few months prior, and then I was able to attend her Elevate workshop. And her messaging was very clear. She's confident and knows her perfect and ideal client. And she was able to walk me through step by step, which is what I loved, especially on top of that, the fact that you have sales-based training. And I'm not getting any perks or any kickbacks or anything like that for saying that. I just like, sure, I'd love to. I actually still follow her, and I'm like, okay, I know I'm not in the new program yet, but can I hop on this? Can I hop on this? So like her messaging is still converting me. But I will say, as an individual business owner, I like to share and tell everyone that I come across about her and her program, because she's sincere. She's faith-based and really believes in what she's saying and doing, knows what she's saying and doing, and really supports us in our business. She helped me gain the confidence in my messaging. The first thing I remember, and it's sort of hurtful to remember, but I remember there was a life coach there who asked us some things that we tell ourselves in our business. And the first thing I said was, no one's going to purchase for me, or no one's going to buy my business. We were talking about the negative things or the doubts of disbeliefs we had. And just I go back to that because for me, it's powerful to think that I literally said that and blurted that out loud. And I was like, girl, don't cry in front of these people. You didn't even know these folks. And I'm still not, I really thought that like, really, you're going to tear up, but it felt like a safe space for me to share that one. But, the community that I've gained from it has been awesome and supportive as well. All of the other persons like Fran and their businesses that I'm able to share and refer each other. But honestly, she knows what she's doing. Her message converts. She has a heart and an empathy for us as business owners and women in business. I don't know if it's exclusive to women, but my cohort was women. But I have gained the clarity in my messaging. I have become more confident in my goals and what I'm set to achieve. And she still continues to drop nuggets. So when I follow her or ask her a quick question like, hey, can I do this? Can I do that? What about this? I know this, but so once a coach, always a coach. But yes. Oh, yeah. I remember that, friend. I saw that. Yeah, very safe space. I remember that. But messaging converts. She helped me get clear on what I want to say. And I would say writing it down, practicing, she helped me get clear about being on camera and being okay with that. And I'm still all over the place, y'all, but that's just me. I'm learning that's my type B creative. I'm learning to, and I will just say personally, there's some things that she just made so simple because I can still at times think, well, how do I make balloons different? How am I a differentiator other than just targeting corporate? Other balloon artists target corporate, and what do I offer? And I can analyze. And she was just like, just say this. So she helped me craft my add-on. She helped me craft the lead magnet. She helped me with logos, just her technical knowledge as well, in addition to the strategy and her empathy. I, can't say enough good things about her, but honestly, I think the accountability to the community of women, I just, again, got more clear. And even if my message was simple, that was okay. I got confident in saying it and repeating it and sharing it with others. And now, last quick anecdote, I was at PJ's coffee shop in Siena last week, and he had a flyer that said something about a mixer for Mardi Gras. And I was like, before I leave here, I'm going to go speak to the owner. I'm going to ask him if he has, considered Bloom Decor for his live event. I'm going to share with him something I'm done and give him a business card. And I probably wouldn't have necessarily had the confidence to do that prior to, starting your program. So it just becomes like easy second nature. I didn't feel salesy. And that was one of my biggest concerns and fears. And I know I've talked very long, so I'm gonna zip it up and go back on mute. Thank y'all for listening.
Thank you, Kara. Thank you. Yes, it is. It's always a safe space, child. We be crying and doing all the things, but Fran has attested to it as well. But Kara, I have had people text me and say, oh, I saw Kara at a networking event and her messaging was so good. They send me videos of you. It's been more than one person has sent me videos of you when you're doing your elevator pitch. I'm like, Kara's doing so good. So like, you have really, and this is not for me, like your confidence, the shift in it was so amazing to see. It was like night and day. I'm so proud of you. And y'all, this is just because of the work that she put in. I just gave her the study. This is the work that she put in and the confidence that she had in herself. So kudos to you. Sharon, you had a question, or were you trying to raise your hand? You can come off of mute if you need to. Oh, mistake. Okay. Okay, y'all. Oceana posted her link to join her event in February. And she said she gets so nervous when speaking. Yes, I will help you break out of that nervousness when speaking, okay? All right, so before I let you go, I'm going to give you guys my offer statement so you can make a decision, okay? I help service-based businesses such as coaches, consultants, and creativity-specialized service providers make more money faster through automation and sales strategy. Most businesses believe that they need to understand how to create the algorithm or how to make the algorithm work. But what I found is that staying top of mind is the key to creating consistent revenue. And you could create your own algorithm. I know it sounds crazy, but it's exactly how Jazz P went from making $6,000 a year to having her first $9,000 month. It is possible for you. So if you want to learn how to make more money faster, if you are wanting to increase your revenue and have it come in consistently, I would invite you to join the club. Would you join the club if I can help you make more money consistently? I appreciate you guys' time. I put the link there to join. Yes! Okay, I put the link there to join. I'm giving y'all about 20 minutes back in your day because we said we were going to 1:30. I want y'all to take this extra time to work on these worksheets. I'm going to send it out to you immediately after the call. And then I'll also have the link to join the club if you're interested. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye.
Are we still here, y'all, or did she close us all out? Mariah, can you hear me? Miss Sharon?
Yeah, I think she left though. We were supposed to.
Okay, no worries. I guess we should all get out. Miss Sharon, you still here?
Okay. I don't know how to. Oh, I guess you just hang up. All right. Bye.
All right, y'all.
Oh, but I was trying to do. Okay. Okay.
Miss Sharon, maybe Miss Sharon can. Oh, she already left. I was saying maybe she could tell us how to do that little circle where you can see people's like profile.
I think it's
logo.
just your like your icon profile picture. Because when I turn off my camera, it's me, and that's what my profile picture is.
So the icon would be whatever you have on Zoom, is what you're saying?
I think so. Like your profile picture.
I don't have a profile picture on Zoom. I gotta figure that out. I wonder if it's only iPhones where it automatically comes up.
Well, no, this is Google Meet. So whatever
so I need to make. Thank you. I need to make my
whatever
profile
your
picture.
Google profile picture is.
Okay. So I'll do that. Then I'll have that little thing and won't be trying to download backgrounds. And I was trying to download my logo. I might, but I think a picture is more personable. Yeah. I'm glad you were on. I hope you feel better.
I'm feeling a little bit better. Girl, I've been all week. I've been half dead.
I'm sorry. I was like, she did say she had the flu. I sure couldn't tell by your interaction online, ma'am. The hustle never ends. But I thought about before, like, let me hop off just in case she's still recording. But I thought about your power influences would definitely be venues, event planners, social and corporate, and those PTOs and those mom groups. But yeah,
I actually just got a call right now. The last time I went off of camera, I got a call from I forgot what she said. The community center, I think in River Oaks. But the only thing is, when you work with community centers, you can't charge them to do it.
So she is the community center for like the neighborhood, the apartment, or
for the neighborhood.
Okay, got you. I remember what you did say about the neighborhood. So in that case, you would be asking, I would ask one of two things. I would ask them to either sponsor the supplies or to see if they can, or see if you can get a business to sponsor your supplies. And I know you are a business, but another business. So for example, I've had events where I was doing it, I sponsored my labor, but they purchased the balloon supplies or had to pay for any rentals.
How do you get that? Like, how do you go about doing that?
So one of two things. If they call me to ask me to sponsor something, I usually would request it. Like I've learned to request, if someone gives me a call or someone reaches out to me, or if someone is like, hey, we're looking for collaborations or things like that. Once I get enough like feedback and questions just from consulting with them, I normally will ask, if there's room in the budget to cover the cost of supplies, and I'd be happy to sponsor my labor. I also would say I probably learned it from one of the balloon groups who suggested if it's something you really want to do, and you feel like you can see the benefits from your business, and there's going to be some kind of return on it that you can maybe immediately see, like it does for like a trade for trade or a trade of service, more so than you just doing it free for, exposure, then I would just directly ask for what I want. Like I will say the event that I asked you all to do, reached out to you for the marquees. It was in my mom's group, and a lady was saying she needed someone to do balloon decor for an event. So I reached out to her. Then when she DM'd me, she was saying they were looking for people who wanted to collaborate, sponsor. And so I figured it was that kind of thing. She said, but we also wanted to see costs as well. So after talking to them, and I may have sent her my balloon menu, I'm not sure, but after talking to them, they had already made up that they were going to cover the cost of supplies and rentals, but they wanted someone to do the labor. In exchange, they would allow me to put the things in a swag bag, allow me to have my commercial, and I asked for coaching for 30 days because most of the person who was hosting it is I think Maxwell certified, and her business partner is a business coach in Pearland. So I was just trying to think of, okay, I've been there, done that. How can I make it something where I could return in my business? Because I wasn't, I had already finished the previous program with my coach, Zakia, you just spoke to, and I know her new thing starting up in March. So I'm like, okay, it's January. What can I do? So I was like, okay, I asked her for coaching. So I made it more of a trade of services for me. But I would say in your case, maybe just asking them directly if they know some sponsors or businesses they work with in community who would be willing to sponsor the cost of supplies. And then you are, giving your time, or you would solicit sponsors yourself, which makes it another job for you. So that's why I would suggest that potentially putting it on them to either cover the cost of supplies or to get a business sponsor that they've used before, or that maybe wants to attach their name to their community to sponsor the cost, and then you submit the cost. So at least then it's your time. Is it a one-time thing or ongoing?
I'm sure it would be like an ongoing thing. Well, I guess it would really be whatever I want. Like community centers, they set up activities to do for the kids or for the families. So I could see it either being a one-time thing or an ongoing thing.
But is this the community center? Is it so it's not a city or a county run community center? It's just individually in the apartment, or?
I forgot where she just said. I think it was the River Oaks Community Center. So if
it's, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I think that would be considered the city community center.
Mm-hmm. So there should be some type of resources, or they should have. I know when I worked in the schools, they would look for vendors for after school programs, and it was part of contracting with them. You would come in for the year, and then the vendor would get paid, and then they would hire us as teachers and coordinators, and then we would get paid also. So there should be some kind of contract in place if are they offering a community program and they want you to come in and teach one part, or they don't have one at all and they just want you to come in and do it for
I don't
free?
know. I reached out to them like a month ago, so I don't remember.
If they're the city, though, they might have like something in there that is a procurement or a government contract through the city or through the county for them to hire an after school program to come in where you could fill those shoes, similar to how you would have an after school program. Like, do they have after school programs at your kids' schools?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So those people are usually contractors, and the company has gotten a contract for a year, 2, 3 years, and they're getting paid to be there, and they're allocating some of that payment to cover the cost of supplies. I'm just trying to see how, my head is just spinning, trying to see how you could turn that into, like, when you reached out to them, what was your goal or your hope for reaching out to them, if you don't mind me?
Well, my initial goal was my plan was to charge the parents to come in and do the activities, but she said they didn't allow that. But still, I think just being in that specific community center, River Oaks,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a good area to market business to.
Okay. So I get what you're saying. So in other words, since they specifically are not trying to buy your product outright or your service outright, you're considering still hosting a free event to target the parents who might then be having the birthday parties and would want to hire you.
Yeah.
Had you considered maybe limiting it to you doing it like once a month, or trying it out for 3 months to see how it goes?
Yeah. If they don't, and then also I'm going to talk to them about how it would be marketed to the community.
Right.
Because I don't even live over there. So, I mean, it wouldn't be beneficial if I had to market it myself.
That's true. Ask them, how are they including that in their newsletter? Is it going out in the community part, if it's part of like the parks or an official community center? So is it going out in their precinct or their, Harris County, newsletter? Is it going to be listed on the site for an activity people can sign up for? And then maybe test it for just do it once a month for 3 months if you want, or once a quarter, or if you want to do it once a month and just test it. And see how you get leads for it. And then you also could consider a trade. You also could say, in exchange for me, that's an alternative option, could be in exchange for me hosting this class, 3 times between now and March. In April, I like to host my own event here that is ticketed, and maybe they let you rent the space free or something like of that nature. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. And then also something I can offer them is a movie night. That doesn't cost, I don't have supplies for that. So that's, if they said no to sponsoring or anything, then I would just offer them a movie night. But at the same time, that's not as beneficial as doing an activity, because they don't get to visually and physically see what I'm actually trying to promote.
Which is your niche, which is what you really love doing, the activity and the takeaway.
Yeah.
Are you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Are you also on the lead generators like Thumbtack? Bark is another one. I think Yelp is free. Yelp is kind of like Google, but Thumbtack, like a push pin, but it's the word thumbtacked with a CK. Bark. And then there's one other, I think it's called Gig Salad, and I'll text it to you. Because I used to see, when I was looking for my son's party, and I went on theirs when I would see few people who were actually coming and doing the activities, because I wanted people to come and, do the stem or do the slime or do the whatever. And I was like, I remember at one point you asked me like who in my area or who would be your who's doing it similar to what you're doing. And I was like, it's been almost 5 years now, because it'll be 5 in March. But when I was looking, it wasn't many. Mm-hmm. It was like 1 or 2.
Yeah. I've started to see, they've started to pop up on my feed on social media, but they're not
because
here.
You're typing it in, because
I'm
you're
at it so
searching
much.
And typing, and so now it's following you. But they're not what?
They're not in Houston. They're Los Angeles, California, stuff like that. So I'm still pretty confident that I don't have the word I'm looking for.
That you don't have a big
competition
competitor go up.
Yeah.
And even if you are clear and you know your niche and you know what sets you apart, and so
even if it is, I mean, there's definitely people that do slime and do paint, at parties, definitely, but
they not you, and
they're not me.
They're not you, and that part is one, and then
just that. I wanted to talk about lead magnets. How I know she just said I would love to work with her, but like I was telling you yesterday, I just don't have. I was looking at it, it's $300 a month. I don't have that. If I had my clients, I would be more than happy to pay that. That's not a lot of money when you're invested in a business, especially my average client is going to pay me what I would pay her per month. So her monthly payment is one client to me, but I can't promise that because
I don't have it. But no, I understand. That's one of the reasons why I was like, oh, March. gonna be getting my ducks in a row because I had a slow December, and January is coming out to be slower. But I also know that I spent a lot of my November and even October fulfilling events and not being consistent with doing my lead generating activities, not sending the emails, not doing the follow-up, and not going to the networking events. So now I am back focused on being, the face of my business. And because I was even rusty when I met you at Miss Sharon's event, and she was sitting in the audience, I was like, oh, I'm nervous. My coach is here. And I'm like, I haven't said this in months. Okay, so how am I gonna do that? And so it was still a bit disjointed because I was like, Carrie, you haven't said it. So that just reminded me, you haven't been talking about yourself or sending any emails, because the more you see it, the more you say it, it becomes second nature. And it doesn't feel salesy, even if it sounds like it. But no, sincerely, she really did help me get clarity in it. It really is like a safe space. And we've, promoted and shouted out each other. And so I'm always just like, my coach, even though I need to restart the program because, I just really feel like I still know I needed numbers, and I still know what number I want for my month and for my year. But what God blessed me with this year was a community of women. So the more I can support and share what I know, I'm not a gatekeeper at all, and the more I can bring other people in, and not just from her coaching, but even in my balloon industry who are not, don't even know about me taking a coaching class. Like, so he just sent me a lot of people who are promoters and supporters and who we can show up for and help each other and say, hey, you should do this, you should do that. And I feel like the climate of where this current administration is going, that's going to be what saves us, is what it always does, is the grassroots, is the community, is the churches, is where we've always made progress. Is in our neighborhoods and our churches and our communities, and looking out for the others that look like us, and those who are supporters of us. But I'm texting you. But look, what did you ask me? See, I'll just be talking. I'll be all off.
The lead magnets. How do you create a lead magnet? So
for me, and that was what I didn't say it clearly, but for me, I was stressing about, well, what lead magnet, what I'm gonna do. And she was just like, because there's a couple of them. You can do a giveaway. You can do like a downloadable, like, hey, click. Like if I created a pamphlet about how to incorporate or how to decorate your next corporate event, or the top 5 themes for corporate events this year, something that will get people that will get them to click and give you their information, similar to how we click and sign up for all these other people and websites. I was clicking on something the other day. I'm like, why am I clicking on this? It was something from like tutorial on how to do that big Christmas bow. I had signed up for so many of those people where they're like, comment below. And I'm like, I haven't even put one up to look at the tutorial, but it's just the idea of, I want to learn. I want to be a part. So it could be something like that. Like Fran said, she has a quiz to that you take to see what kind of spender you are, and it categorizes you. And then you'll be part of the email list from there. So for me, mine was a freebie. So I had a free add-on. So it was like, if you sign up to be my VIP, and it's still up and live, if you sign up to be my VIP, or you click my link in bio, you sign up as a VIP. And when you're a VIP, you get a free add-on at your next live event. And so at first I was tripping about, well, what am I going to give them? What's going to be free? And, trying to figure out what it was. And she was just like, just say just free balloons. You can figure it out as you go, like figure out based on the client's event what I would do. But I had in my mind a cap on the amount I was going to spend on the extra. But it'd be the equivalent of, like, bless you, if someone ordered, an arch, and then I added 4, or 5 foils to it, something they weren't expecting, but something that had a value of, 50 to 100 or something like that in that range. Something that it wouldn't be so costly for me to do or execute time wise, but it would elevate and enhance what they'd already purchased. And so everybody likes, pretty much likes free. And then once they click and sign up, I get a notice in her CRM that they've signed up. So then it says, hey, you're a VIP. An automatic email goes out to them. Then from there, I get a task to follow up. So then I follow up and send an email or call that person who signed up for the VIP to ask them, hey, what's going on? Do you have an upcoming live event? How can we be of service? Because they could have just been kicking the tires, or they could actually have something coming up and they want to, they met me at an event and they're like, okay, or they saw my thing somewhere or scanned my code, or was directed to it some kind of way or clicked on it or was curious. So now I'm going to reach out to them to see if they have a live event. So it was a freebie, a quiz, a giveaway. What freebie is a giveaway, same thing. It could be like a coupon, so it could be a discount.
Okay,
or
so I
buy one.
was already planning on doing a giveaway. I have the stuff in there. It's gonna be a baby onesie painting kit. It's gonna come with the onesies, the paint brushes, stencils.
So
all
cool.
the
Or you gonna and how will they get that giveaway? They have to.
Okay. Initially, it was so stupid because I thought about it yesterday. I'm like, I don't know why I would do it like that, but I was initially supposed to give it to a friend that was just supposed to post it on social media. So my idea was they post it on social media, I get the audience, or hopefully. But now I'm like,
So they were your
let me,
power influencer?
yeah.
Okay.
But now I'm like, no, let me do a giveaway on my page. And then I can also post it in all the mom groups and all the groups on Facebook. And that way I can attract clients because one of the things that they'll have to do is follow me.
Okay.
But then also I still would like someone to post it on their social media.
Well, you can still have her post and share it. That power influencer can still post, hey, Mariah with Party Planet, or my colleague Mariah, or Mariah's an awesome planner and she's doing a giveaway, and she can still post it and share it on her.
So I can do a giveaway, and for them to enter, I can have them tag 3 friends.
Mm-hmm. Like it and follow. So follow, they have to usually like that post, and then they usually tag 3 friends in the comments. And then sometimes people are like, if you share it to your stories, it's an extra entry. So you decide if you want to keep up with that part. Like if they share it on their own stories too, they get a extra entry.
Okay, now also I know like whenever people see Party Planet, they automatically think kids. Now, obviously I don't only have kid activities, but that's what I'm known for is kids activities. So with me pulling in now with the baby onesie kid, that could go both ways. Obviously, I'm pulling in moms, but at the same time, like, do you think that would be like contradicting or controversial where like people don't really understand what I'm doing? Like, I don't know. I just know.
You think you asked me if the baby onesie kit would be contradicting what? The fact that you also do adult parties?
Yeah, or like I don't know. I feel like people. I know when people see Party Planet, they think, oh, she does kids activities or she does kid parties.
And is that do you have a problem niching down to that, or you don't want to just do that?
I don't really want to only do kid parties. I want to offer adults things too. So I'm hoping.
But you be saying ew when I said it was adults. You were like ew. So do you really like?
Well, I don't like
adults?
anybody, baby. I don't like kids. I don't like adults. I want to be in my house.
Your own. I got you.
I like my money. That's what I like. I like paying my bills.
I hear you, but do you think that maybe focusing on one or the other would help you get more targeted and help you to get more leads that fit that actually? I'll just say it based. Oh, go ahead. Tell me what you're gonna say. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying that's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe I shouldn't try to focus on both kids and adults.
Maybe not at the same time. Sorry, I'm listening.
No, I'm listening too. I don't know. I know, like, okay, like I know kid parties I go to, but like I also want to host events. So kid parties I go to, but for events, adults would come to.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So for the kids parties, you're going and doing the setup, but the adult events like the mat planning, that is with the mat painting, that is when you are hosting, you, Mariah, or you as the owner of Party Planet are hosting this event, ticketed event where you want people to come out and be a part, and that's not necessarily kid specific. I definitely get what you're saying. I would, if you decide to work with Zakia, I would maybe get her to help you craft out how to, I guess, differentiate those offers or how to even launch that. Even though to me, I don't see a conflict because I saw hey, I was looking at your thing, it just was all like crafts to me. Like looking at it's just like you're showing me this for the bag, the tote bag, and you're showing me this for the slime, and you're showing me this for the couples who are making paint. So I just look at it as like, oh, this is like going to one of those places where you can do multiple crafts, and most of them are not like that. Most of them are either you paint or either you do this or either you do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll pull in, oh, let's paint and do charcuterie, or oh, let's do a wreath and flowers and paint. Like sometimes they'll have a special workshop where they'll combine multiple, but one, usually they don't go to you or bring it to you. Two, it's again usually just only one thing. It's not customized. You can't just go say, oh, I want to make a pottery at the painting house, because that's just not their niche. And they do adults and kids. It's probably the only way that they're somewhat similar. So it doesn't confuse me the fact that you want to host social events that are not just for kids, but when you are doing activities and going to parties, it is mostly kids parties. It doesn't confuse me, but I feel like that would definitely be a question to ask somebody more experienced on the business and the audience, especially social media side of it, because I don't analyze stuff like that, so I don't know. But I would say when I look at your logo and look at your name, I'm gonna think kids parties, because parties in the name and the logo Planet. So I'm thinking like Pizza Planet from Toy Story. So the first thing I'm gonna think of is kids, So that may be something.
I've been thinking, I was like, I would really hate to change my logo, mainly
I love your logo.
because I do like my logo, but also I already have like jackets and shirts, like that's my logo.
I think that's something you're gonna have to like maybe that one you hash out with a mentor or a coach, because I can tell you what I think, but I'm another business owner. You know what I mean? Not that a coach isn't, but I don't have that high level view. I haven't seen how it may have worked in someone's business, nor have I worked with a client that has, because I'm not a coach. I haven't worked with somebody who has that, but also wants to offer this, where she may have seen somebody like yourself, or who have multiple offers or do multiple products or multiple launches, or who are, party planners. In a sense, I just focus on balloons. Like I don't even focus on the other parts of the party. So even in that respect, so I guess a coach or someone who is in the event planning who has done multiple, maybe Miss Sharon as a mentor could give you some insight on that, because she hosts events. But she told me to call her too. She hosts events, but then she also serves clients events.
I wish she could rejoin this.
I know. I was like, I should tell her to hang on. I was trying to get off. I was off mute, but I don't think she could hear me, or she probably was just getting out because we supposed to be out. So hopefully Zakia don't be like, girl, y'all still on the recording running y'all mouth.
Is it still recording?
I would think it's not.
No, it is. Oh Lord.
Oh my goodness, it's still recording. Sorry, Z, we're gonna get off. You want me to just call you? Let me just call you.
Visitors are in this meeting.
Yeah, let me just call you, child.
Well, because Miss Sharon called me, so I need to call her back. But
call her. I'm just shooting the breeze.
Hopefully, maybe if I do this baby onesie kit giveaway, that will be like a good middleman to say, I do kid activities, but I also do adult activities, because this is technically an activity for your kid.
What we doing?
But it's for the adults to do.
Okay. Is that your goal with? So your goal is to be a lead magnet for people to follow you, but you're still not necessarily getting their emails. You're gonna get likes and follows.
Yeah, that part.
You're not necessarily getting their emails, so you can't really contact them other than just trying to reach out to each one individual in the DM.
Yeah. And then also, it wouldn't really, if I want them to post on social media, say that someone wins it and they have 3 followers. It's not going to be very beneficial.
So your goal is to get more exposure, more likes. What is your actual goal with doing the onesie giveaway?
I want more exposure
To
potential clients.
do you think going to an event made for moms where you set up a table and have a raffle where they have to either give you your business card or sign up with their name and email would give you the same exposure, but would give you more direct access to them as a potential client? Like if there's a Mommy and Me fair coming up, or there is a, you know how we have the bridal expo, if there's an expo for like moms to be some kind of way, or there's a lady in Alvin who she is a doula, and I believe she's having an opening or a grand opening, and I want to say it has something to do with like mommies. So I'm gonna find it to send it to you, because I'm wondering if you would get more, but you don't necessarily want to target moms. So I think I'm being too specific.
Well, no, I do want to target moms because moms are 90% of the people that throw parties.
Right. So that is your target client, you know, is at least a woman.
Yeah. Yeah, 70%, even more, 80% of my target client would be moms. Whether they're throwing a party for themselves or throwing a party for their kids. But
so
if
not
it's a
just
mom,
specifically women moms. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see the information anyway. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
send it to me. No,
Send
send it.
information.
Yeah.
I'm just trying not to convolute it, because when you say baby shower onesie, I'm automatically think, okay, she's targeting mothers or mothers to be, but that's not necessarily the case. You're just trying to get more clients, more leads who are interested in having activities at their social events.
Yeah.
And I don't know necessarily if doing a giveaway for the onesie is going to get you more clients who are just interested in having activities at their social event. I'm not saying it won't. I just don't know if getting more followers and getting people who, you know, like the post, follow you, and giving one away is really going to get you more leads in your business.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
it might give you more exposure.
I went to a networking event like last month and I gave away a tote bag and I didn't get anything from it.
But what did you get in exchange for giving away the tote bag?
Nothing. It was just like a door gift to go to it was my first time at the networking event.
Okay.
It was like they're called Boss Babes on Instagram, and they're like a little community, but I didn't get anything from it.
I think I've seen them. So I would make it more, you have to give me something in exchange. So in exchange for winning this raffle, they have to give you their business card. In exchange for winning this, I'm just trying to figure out your offer in a way that will make that where you will have their email and phone number.
Yeah.
A way to follow up to potentially.
Maybe I can do it through, maybe it's something on my website. I can create like a form and say, this is how you sign up, like name, email, and then you follow me on social media instead of tagging 3 friends.
And you follow me. And you can do both. But if your goal is to get leads, I would think you would need to get a way to contact them. Yeah, their emails. And if they're like, I like the concept of new moms because they now have a child that is gonna have birthdays. Right, that's true. So let me I'm gonna send these 3 platforms, and then when I see her posts, I think she was opening in February, March. I'm gonna go back and find it. She's in she is in Alvin. Her store is in Alvin, and she is, I want to say, over the Black Chamber of Brazoria County currently. which I think Shell was telling me the other day that she started that. I was like, what? You started that one too? She's hasn't been as active in like the Pearland area, but her name is Brianna, and she's the Black Chamber of Brazoria County, and she owns Be Infused Wellness. And she's a doula, and I believe they're having a mom event coming up, or a mom to be event, but also like an opening. So those are 3 that I can remember off the top of my head. I'll send you that one. And I'm not saying don't do it, do it. I just am trying to see which one would maybe head in the direction that you want it to go. If it's to get more leads, I don't know if a giveaway will give you more leads. It will give you exposure and people following you and knowing about your business. So then future potential for them to see your offers. So it's not that they won't, but it won't necessarily give you their information as a potential client right then and there. And I could be confusing.
I agree 1000%.
I could be confusing. I could be confusing a launch or a lead magnet with a lead generating activity, which I think I am. Because she was saying lead generating is your email list, your networking, because usually then you're getting a specific name and number, and it was something else that generates leads. Networking. I guess power influencers could also generate leads. They could say, hey, this person's having this event, and they need somebody to do this, and they give you, give out your information.
And me and OC, we are actually partnering up to do baby showers and gender reveals, because she does the DNA testing and then I'll do an activity.
Oh, that's so cool. Like a community? Oh, no, not a community baby shower. Not like we're putting it on, not an event where people, wait, you mean for a specific person, or you mean you would have it like as a community event where people would come?
No, for a specific person. So someone that wanted a gender reveal and they wanted to, and I think it's really convenient,
That's
really cool, because we're going to offer packages. You get DNA testing, you get, say, the onesie activity, and then you also get the confetti cannons.
That's cool. That's so different, because you have the confetti cannons too.
Yeah. So
cool.
I don't know.
But yeah, I say, the one that you were about to do it, and then have it, do it, maybe do it on Instagram that way, and then maybe on Facebook do it where they fill out their form to sign up to be entered, and you can compare them. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to not do the like, follow, share. But if you do it, like you say, from your website, then they have to sign up to do it. And you can do that on Facebook and compare and see, or you can do both, whichever one. But I think
I'll figure it out.
All right, girl.
Alrighty, darling. Thank you for talking to me.
No worries. Feel better. Get some rest. Eat something. Get some work done.
I got this event on Saturday with that client. That client, she does not care at all. I've done this will be my 5th party for her, so I can't say she doesn't like what I do. She just don't care to leave me a review.
Does she have you tried to ask her to get on a live or get on a video with you? Hey, let's do a client testimonial, and then can you stay for the events, right?
Yeah, I stay and I do the activities with the kids, so I'm there for 4 or 5 hours. And
yes, so ask her for hey, before we get started today, I wanted you to or at the end of her event, ask her for a review. At this point, I just feel like I would be bothering her because I've asked her so many times. But you haven't asked her in this way. And then if you feel like she's still like, no, then don't ask her no more. But one thing I did learn, I had a client who used to call me last minute for stuff, and I had to realize that they weren't my ideal client because they didn't value me as a business owner.
She pays.
And this one did too. But I had to realize, I hear you, but I had to realize that the stress and she didn't respect me as a business owner, and the stress and the going back and forth of trying to please her because I could never really get a conversation with her or never really had time. And it was always last minute. I just had to learn that she wasn't my ideal client. Not that my ideal client just has time to talk like you and I do necessarily, but I mean, it just like I would try to follow up with her and contact her, reach out to her months ahead and things like that. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't hear nothing. And then the day before, 2 days before, can you do this? And so it started to make me feel like you either have somebody else in mind and come through, which is fine, or but at the end of the day, it was like you don't have time for me in my processes in my business, but you want to just shoot me a text and saying, can you do this? And like I said, she would pay, but so it ended up something that I thought I could fulfill and I shouldn't have took on last minute. I wasn't able to do it to the standards I should have been able to do it. So
Yeah.
it fell through that way, but I learned from it that she wasn't my target client because, like I said, she would never call me. She would never go to the link to fill out the stuff when I would ask her to fill it out. She just always wanted to have access to me when she wanted to, but didn't respect, my time or my processes. So I believe, since I never got the chance to build that rapport with her to actually say, hey, this is how we do stuff, and she didn't take the time to do it, that she just wasn't my ideal client, even if she would pay, $600, $700, $800 a day before, because I can't operate like that. Having a 4-year-old, I just can't just be at your beck and whim the night before, because my husband works nights, so I just don't always have, I don't have that kind, I can't just always find somebody like that to come, And so I'm just not going to. I know that I need type of clients who are going to give me at least 2 weeks, ideally 3, because it's a team of one. Because and I don't normally have someone here nights and weekends, so I have to really schedule and plan my stuff out. And I've sent you 3 or 4 emails this year and you never respond to it, but you can text me the day before. Hey, I really need something. I asked, what I'm really looking for something nice, something to really stand out. I really want to make an impression. It's like, so I can do the good work, but you don't take the chance, you don't take the opportunity to do good business with me. So
That's what I don't understand. Like my sister said the same thing that Zakia was saying, that she just sounds really busy. But I'm like, how long does it take you to send a message? And all I ask my clients is to do is pick out the activity. I already sent her the list of her options. So she picks out the activity and then sends a deposit. Like, that's all. I think my connection went out again. If you can still hear me.